Today we are going to be getting ready to hit the road for a multi-state road trip, which means we need to take Tara back from a 7-passenger minivan to this. Hi there. Heather here from Heather's Hikes and Adventures. And I have done a couple of transformation videos with you all in the past where I kind of take you through the process of transforming my 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan Tara from a 7-passenger minivan to a micro camper with all of the amenities and conveniences that I might need to travel around and explore, which I will be bringing you along with, so stay tuned for those. But I did kind of want to not only go through the transformation process, and I know a lot of you that are newer to the channel may not have seen my original floor plan that I'm going back to, so I'm excited to show you that. And then I also kind of want to go over some of the other things I do to prepare for a more extended, longer road trip. For instance, I think I'm going to be going about 1,500 miles this time, so a lot further than I normally travel. And I'm going to be going through places that don't have the best cell service, if at all, more remote areas. I'm going to be driving in the mountains, something that I do not do here in Florida. So I did need to do some extra preparation for this trip, and that's what this video is going to be about. So I'm going to show you the transformation, and then we're going to discuss what I did to prepare for this trip that I am getting ready to set out for. Let's dive right in. All right, you all know that one of the reasons I love this particular sleeping arrangement in my minivan camper is because when I am between trips, which I often am, I am still able to utilize this middle row for my kiddos without having to completely break down my bed each time and set it back up. So it works great for short trips, and it's great for most of the time. But there are some times where I need a little bit more, and that's where we go back to my other floor plan. Let's do it! This is way less organized than it normally is, but just to give you an idea of what we're working with as I've been doing inventory and making sure I have everything that I need for the trip. Oh boy. Thank you, Chloe, for the support. So yeah, we're going to be getting this all sorted and loaded into Tara. Alright, so now you can see the empty shell of this floor plan again. I've got my Coleman camp cot that I'll use underneath for storage, and then I'll put my metal shelf here and the fridge on top. My normal drawers will go over here. My toilet, aka ottoman slash seat slash extra surface, and my hamper and all the other stuff will just kind of fill in accordingly. But first, we're going to finish setting up the bed, which is going to consist of a foam mattress topper folded in half on top of that in queen size, my 0-degree sleeping bag, some blankets, of course my mattress cover to hold it all together. That is a waterproof mattress cover so that no dust or allergens or moisture get into the actual mattress. Then the fitted sheet, and then lastly, before I put my final bedding on, I have my sleeping bag layered on here, unzipped and ready to climb into, with my normal comforter on it for an extra added layer of warmth and comfort when I'm sitting on it, and then I'll put the bedding on top now. Alright, we've got the shelf that holds the fridge in place with the garage underneath, and we're ready to start loading everything in. I am so tickled right now, y'all. This is the first time that I've used this setup with this new hamper, and look how perfect it fits between the shelf and wedging the hamper in. It's like the perfect fit. This is going to actually give me more interior space now. Just a little progress update for you guys. It's a little while later and I've got the bedding in. My rugs are down. I've got the toilet set up in and my seat, as well as my little hamper. Everything is fitting so nicely. Pretty much all I need to do now. Oh, and I got this new rolling cart so that I don't have to set my clothing packing cubes directly on the floor. So I've got my dry bags for dirty laundry up in there. I have packing cubes for my tops, my bottoms, my pajamas, my undergarments, a few of those, although I'm hoping I don't need them. And I've got my clam and my outdoor setup in the back there, but I honestly don't think I'm going to use it this trip because I'm going to be so busy. I've got my power stations under here. I have my Jackery on the far side where I will be plugging it in with my fridge over here, and then my Bluetti's on this side for easy access for my appliances. Now it's time to put my little drawers in. So let's take one last peek at what our finished loaded up product is. I just have my hiking backpack on the hook right there for now. I use a little magnetic hook to hang my jackets over here and tuck them out of the way. I've got all my little floor space set up, my storage. And one last view from back here as well. I've got all of my towels, sheets, blankets, etc. in there. My main water supply, my garage, my clam stuff, even though I don't think I'm going to use it, and my netting. A little bit of fall fun because you know I can't resist. You can see all the layers to my bed. So now let's talk about what else I do to prepare for my more extended road trips. Okay, so now we have seen the transformation take place and she is looking very sassy and ready to go. I am going to run up to the gas station and fill up the tank. I'm going to run it through the car wash to make sure that she's as sparkly outside as she is inside now. And I am also going to check and top off, if needed, the air in any of the tires. Make sure that they're right where they need to be to get the most efficient gas mileage on the highway. I also want to make sure that I have a little bit of cash on me because some of the places that I'm going may be cash only for admission. It's just good to have a little bit of cash in a pinch if you need it. So I will be getting a little bit of that. When I go get groceries, I'll make sure to get cash back. That is one of the last things I do is I'm going to get the last minute groceries that I need and do a little bit of food prep here to just make things a little bit easier for me on the road. Like I said, I'm not really going to be having a lot of chill time this trip. I am packing a lot into this little road trip here, or not so little road trip here. So I want to maximize my time with explorations and hikes and seeing as much as I can, which means I want to make sure I have everything as prepared, organized, and ready to go now. So I'll do a little bit of stuff here this evening. I'm going to brown up some ground beef because I plan on making tacos one night and then maybe a burrito bowl another, and I think I might get some rotisserie chicken and go ahead and shred that up ahead of time. Just a couple of things like that this evening, just to make my life a little bit easier while I'm out exploring so that I can pack as much into my days as possible and not waste it on things like food prep and additional setup time and things like that. So that is one thing. I'm looking at my notes here. I'm very prepared. Are you proud of me? I am going to make sure that I did already top off my water, but that is something that I always do, make sure my water is filled up. I am going to charge everything up. I have already got my fans charged up. My power stations are at 100%. My little battery pack that I use for my lights and my fan backup, those kind of things. I've got everything topped off. My Garmin is charged up. I've got all of my charging cords organized and already loaded up. And speaking of my Garmin, which I have done a video on in the past, and I will link that below because I think it's an important safety thing to have if you're doing any kind of a solo extended road trip especially, but primarily if you're going to be in areas without reliable cell service. That way you are able to communicate, you are able to call for help in an emergency, and those types of things. So since it is charged up now, I'm going to go ahead and send a test message to my mom and make sure that she gets it and that I get a message back from her to make sure everything's working the way it should, since it's been a while that I've used it. Thankfully, I've only had to use it for testing and just update kind of things in the past, but I do like to make sure that it's in working order before I head out into the great unknown. Also like to make sure that my jump starter is fully charged, and you can see here that it is. That way I know if, knock on wood, I need to jumpstart Tara for any reason, it's not going to be low on battery or juice to get me going again. One new purchase I did make this trip was this little guy. Let's see what it is. It is these awesome little magnetized LED emergency signalers. You can see they have different settings. So I figured, since I'm going to be heading into the mountains by myself and driving for hours and hours this trip, that it would be a good idea to stop procrastinating and get this to add to my emergency kit now rather than later. So that's what I did. And while we are on the topic of safety and whatnot, I do want to take this opportunity to say that it's a great idea to make sure that you're sharing your itinerary with at least one or two trusted individuals that are going to know approximately where you're going to be, when you're going to be back, when you're expected. I mean, obviously it doesn't have to be an exact, but it is good to let people know where you're going before you go there, so that if, nobody hears from you for a while, they know approximately when they should maybe start to worry, or a good starting place to look for you if they do need to reach out. So that is something that I definitely recommend, and I have done that. I have shared my itinerary with my family, so they know where I'm supposed to be. They know when I'm going to be checking in. They know which days I'm probably not going to have very much service, so that they might not hear from me as much on those days. That kind of thing, so that there's no surprises, so that there's, nothing like that. Just kind of peace of mind stuff. And then the last thing that I do to prepare for these types of trips is I download my maps, my apps, and my entertainment. So my maps, like I already said, I'm going to be in areas that don't have reliable cell coverage. I don't have the greatest sense of direction as it is, so I need my maps. So I went ahead and downloaded the entire areas of where I'm going to be ahead of time in my Google Maps. That way, when I am in those areas, if I need to pull up directions to a different place, if I get done with my hike and I want to navigate to another spot, I can pull it up whether or not I have cell service, because I already have that map downloaded in there. So I highly, highly recommend doing that as well. I also pulled up the directions to the places on my itinerary I know I'm going to be going, so that I have some idea ahead of time without just kind of going into it blind. As far as apps, I already mentioned that I definitely utilize Google Maps. I also use that to pull up nearby rest stops when I'm on the road, restrooms if I need to make a pit stop, if I need to, run an errand, that type of stuff. So I always have my Google Maps going up front with me. But this time, since I am also going to be hitting up a couple of national parks, I have downloaded those park areas in my guide along app, which I have talked about before, but it's been a while. It was previously known as the Gypsy Guide, and it's been rebranded since. Now it's called Guide Along, but it's the same app. So if you have any guides previously downloaded or purchased from there under the Gypsy Guide, it is still in there. You just have to re-download it, but it's still showing as your purchased apps. So I used it for Yellowstone. I used it for the Smokies. When I went out west for like Sedona, Grand Canyon. It is awesome. I named my guide Herbert. He's the best. He is my friend, and he tells me all of the cool places to go, and he gives me fun facts and trivia. And since it works off of your GPS, you don't have to have cell service. It just goes by where your location is. So as you come up to things, it tells you like, oh, make this turn up here if you want to see this, or I recommend you check this out. If you're low on time, you can skip this, but definitely do this. That kind of stuff. So it's kind of like having your very own personal tour guide right inside your vehicle with you. When I'm using it on my trip, I will get a little clip here and there so that you can kind of get an idea of how it works, because I think it's the coolest thing ever, and I just recommend anybody use it. I'm currently in the process of downloading some shows to watch when I don't have service. Right now I'm doing The Haunting of Hill House, which is one of my favorite series. So I'm going to rewatch that because it's nice and spooky, and then do some nice Halloween themed movies and whatnot. Well, there you have it, folks. I think I have done quite enough yammering since I have got to wrap this up and get ready to hit the road bright and early in the morning. I am so excited. I cannot wait to share my travels with you. I hope you found this video entertaining and helpful. I will link the things that I use below. I will link detailed video of my tour if you want to see it in, a little bit closer look, since it was just kind of a quick walkthrough, as well as a tour of my toilet here behind me that I just recently did, if you want to kind of see the specifics there of how I do when I need to. But thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you very soon on some awesome adventures. Till then, friends, bye.